Hello everybody, welcome back. So as you can see, there's a little picture of me in the corner there. So for those who are ripping all my videos and sticking them on their own channels, lowering my voice to get through the algorithm, now you have to compete with my face. But also I'm trying to bring some people to the YouTube channel, and my face, hopefully will do that. You tell me. Right, so the thing is, we're going to look at a coin here which is running counter to the market, and it's a coin that we talk about occasionally, but not all that often. We bought into this, we were watching this fall all the way down, we were getting ready to pull the trigger on this in the last major downtrend in the summer. I said, look, this is going to be one of the three, we'll just call them low cap coins for now, right? That we're gonna pull the trigger on, but we're gonna wait for the floor. We're gonna wait for an uptrend, and I picked this up on this pullback. So we came up to this resistance, came all the way back down, made another attempt, and formed a higher low. So I bought around here. So I'm not massively up, just over 100% up, which is fine. It's okay. I think the fun is yet to be had. So there's a few things I'm going to show you. So first of all, what you can see here is a kind of a cupping handle, right? So this looks like it, normally what you'd expect is a cupping handle to break out once the handle is broken. So the handle is broken here, and this could be the area that we break out. So that's bullish technical number one, a messy but achievable cupping handle formation, right? So that's number one. Number two, we're above all major moving averages on the daily. That's great as well. Never had a death cross. None of that. We're above all of them, which is just a nice observation to always have. Bullish case number three is that we've got two of the three components for a trend continuation signal on the Ichimoku cloud, and all we're waiting for is this conversion baseline to cross, and preferably we want it to cross above the cloud, because that would mean that this would be a trend rather than just a push up, a trend form. So this is this blue here. It's already in the red. We want it to, not the red cloud, this red line here. It's all a bit messy. I appreciate that. So we'll zoom in. So you can see that it's merged in with the red here, and it's following the red, and we're just a few fractions of a fraction of a cent away from making that cross. And if the cross takes place above the cloud, that's a trend continuation signal. If it takes place in the cloud or below the cloud, it's still good, because we've got all the other aspects of the other way to play the Ichi cloud that we like, which is a portion of the cloud green, price above the cloud, across, doesn't matter where it is, and the GQ span above the cloud as well. So whichever way you look at it, it is likely to fall. It's almost impossible for this to not form something incredibly bullish anyway. The difference is that one would be a push up to what I would believe would probably be just short of a cent. That would be the lesser signal. The more positive signal is if we get it above the cloud, and it means that the trend should begin from wherever that cross would be. The price action, that would be of where the cross took place. Sounds a bit complicated. It's really not. It's just there's just two ways of playing the Ichimoku cloud. Like I say, either way, all you need to know is that that's a really good bullish case. That's the best case scenarios that we get across above the cloud, whether it be today or tomorrow. Well, it's not going to be today. We're talking daily charts, so tomorrow or in the next few days. So there is also the migration onto the Ethereum blockchain. From what I understand, that might have some kind of bullish effect, and you could argue that that's arguably what might be causing this to run counter to the market. So that's good as well. Bullish case, so we can call that fundamental a bullish case number 4. Bullish case number 5, we're being supported quite nicely on this Bollinger Band here. We're above all major moving averages once again on the 4-hourly. We've had a golden cross recently, and you might argue, well, we've had one of those before and it didn't really do much. Well, on 4-hourlies, just like on any charts really, if you get a golden cross followed by a death cross, followed by a golden cross, followed by a death cross, the second golden cross along the line, because what this is basically showing a giant accumulation range from as low as half a cent to, we'll call it 0.8 of a cent, but really I'd say that the tops are around these levels, about 0.75 of a cent. The second golden cross of the bunch is the one that normally would cause the breakout or the move or the strength, and that's what we've got. So this is the second one. So we had the first golden cross here, a bit of a non-event, and this is the second one, a bit more of an event. So that's bullish case. I'm losing track of all the bullish cases. And the last bullish case I've got for you is that we did have a downwards trend of resistance from this previous all-time high to these levels down here, and we've broken out of that descending triangle there. So lots of bullish cases for this to continue to pump, regardless of which direction the market wants to take. Obviously, if Bitcoin decided to break down by 20%, that's probably going to have a bit of an impact over here, and we'll continue to stay in this range between 0.5% and 0.75%. I mean, that's just the nature of it. Doesn't matter how bullish a chart has, how many signals it's got. Bitcoin is king, and Bitcoin will tell everybody, it will show everybody who's boss. It's very, very difficult for anything to continue to move up in a significant pullback for Bitcoin. But this is a decent range. It's been in an accumulation range the entire time, similar to the way I believe Bitcoin's traveling in an accumulation range around here. We're just at the bottom of it right now, which again, we were talking about. If you've got time, I'll just explain something. We were talking about alt trading when we came into these zones, initially, and we were at the top here, and there was a lot of altcoins that were at supports, right, and Bitcoin being at resistance. I said, look, there's altcoin setups all over the place. They're at supports. Take the opportunity if you want to, but there's risk because Bitcoin's at resistance, which means that it's very likely that Bitcoin does pull back, even if it's just pulled back into this upside of the range, which it did, and it will likely destroy any strong support that you might feel is relevant on an altcoin, which is the case, and it has proven to be the case. As you can see, altcoins getting wrecked all over the place. But now what we're seeing, if we think about just these two, so OMI to Bitcoin, Bitcoin is at the bottom of its range, and OMI is at the top. So, in my opinion, it's more likely that Bitcoin has some upside at this level, just because it's such a strong level. And I don't know if you look at traditional markets or anything like that, but they've been struggling quite hard today. Bitcoin's held up relatively well, pretty well in comparison to what you'd expect. The Dixie's pumping, traditional markets are coming down, they continue to consolidate, and Bitcoin's held this current level just to show us that this area is relatively strong, and I believe it is. Going back all this time, the 40,000-ish area is strong, goes back historically over a year now, so it's a strong zone. So Bitcoin at potentially a decent support, while OMI being at a retesting this resistance with all these bullish components to it, does suggest that this will break out and Bitcoin won't pull back any further, and if it does, it won't be an enormous one. It'll just be dancing around the lows, and the upside will be larger, just even in the short term, helping something like this to not pull back as a result of Bitcoin dictating the way that the entire market's going to go. So there's a lot of things, as I've mentioned there. There's a lot of things that make me feel bullish and very optimistic about dancing around at this level of resistance, which I think it inevitably will break. But like I say, I've only made over 100%. It's not much, not in comparison to some of these other trades we've been doing since the summer. I mean, it's good, but it's not tons. And I'll be looking to take some off the table, depending on the type of signal we get, as we head towards 1 cent, because you know what it's like. You might even be guilty of it yourself. People like to think of sell orders pretty much in round numbers, right? It's always sell at $1, or wait till it's going to reach $1. Why is it going to reach $1? It's just because it's easier for people to count what profit that they will have made theoretically if it reaches $1. It's just a simple. It's a character flaw in humans. We're just one step up from a chimp, aren't we? So we've got 10 hands. That's how we've learned to count. That's why we love round numbers. We count in tens, 5s and 10s. We've been doing that since we came out of the trees, and we're still doing it now. So that 1 cent zone, I imagine, being a pretty hardcore resistance there. And you can even see that over here. Candle bodies here, even a support, another resistance, a resistance, a resistance. The 1 cent zone is going to do it, at least for a sizable pullback. So I'll take some chips off the table just below a cent, all right? Just below a cent, because I am a chimp. I am related to chimps, as we all are, but I've broken the molds, and I will front run that sell order, and it will only be a portion, 25% of what I've got, which is quite a sizable chunk in all fairness of how much I've got in this, but there's a lot of altcoins out there that are absolutely wrecked, extremely wrecked, and they are opportunities. This one's still running and may continue to run afterwards, but if I can take some profit on this one, shave some off, and put it into some of these other coins which are scraping absolute lows, that's my preference. But doesn't take away from the fact that this could easily break beyond there and continue if we get the continuation trend signal on the Ichimoku cloud. So I've bored you to death enough about OMI. I've probably encouraged you to buy it. That's not what I want. This is updating on something that we've been talking about on this channel since, like I say, since the entry point in the summer. So it's just one of many trades that I talk about, and this one's working out pretty well as we speak. And I expect it to actually break out of this zone, which has been a long-term continuation since we broke into it around September. Really, it's about time. It's about time all of these signals that we spoke about merge into one powerful push to break us above the 0.8 of a cent and then start to dance around the 1 cent zone. And if we break above there, this chart should then go into its own uptrend, which could dwarf the entire amount. Like I say, there's so many things about this chart which is pretty nice. But I'm no financial advisor, so don't go buying into it at a resistance, no matter how tempting I've made it sound. If you're in it, great, you should be okay. But buying at a resistance, despite everything that I've explained, you've got to have balls of steel, or you've got to be very, it's your money, do what you want with it. Mine's already in, I'm just letting it do its thing. But yeah, just remember, if you do decide to buy now, you are buying a resistance, and that comes with its own set of issues. Right, I'm going to leave it with you there, guys. Thanks for watching. Hope you have a nice day. Take it easy.